To help swimmers improve their skills as much as possible, we want to use the best drills available. Why waste time with strategies that are less efficient? But that doesn't mean we always want to be aggressive with challenging swimmers during those drills. Hi everyone, Andrew here, helping you help your swimmers get faster. The two following thought processes can seem contradictory. First, to improve skills, we want to use the most effective drills. That means the most learning for the least amount of effort in the least amount of time. Second, we want to slowly and patiently challenge swimmers for two reasons. First, if the challenge is too large, swimmers aren't going to learn. Second, we always want to have somewhere to go so that we can always continue to challenge swimmers. If we use our biggest challenge right away, what are we going to do next? It can seem like those two ideas can't coexist. A coach recently pointed this out and asked for clarification on these concepts and what they mean. It's a great question, and understanding the answer is foundational for improving skills. Let's check it out. Now, to reiterate, use the best drills that you have. Swimmers will learn faster, it will be easier, and their skills are going to be better. There are a lot of skills to learn, and you don't have time messing around with strategies that aren't very effective. And remember, doing drills is just step one. We have to challenge the drill, and we have to ensure that it actually shows up when they swim. And once it shows up in their swimming, we have to challenge it so that it consistently shows up in races. This brings us to the second point. We have to challenge drills and skills. We have to make it progressively more difficult and progressively more challenging if we want swimmers to continue to improve. But to do that, we can start with the simplest and the easiest challenge possible. Rather than giving them a really complicated version of whatever drill you're doing, start with the most basic one. Do the easiest version to let them be successful. And then add in the next layer, the next appropriate challenge. Over time, you'll slowly increase the challenge rather than starting with the most difficult challenge in the beginning. This ensures that you can help swimmers continue to get better without overwhelming them. And this ensures that they'll actually work on the skills in the way they need to work on them when they're ready to work on them. So let's say you use a really advanced version of a drill. It's probably not going to go very well. It's going to be pretty sloppy. It's not going to be very effective. And what are you going to do after that? Are you going to continue to challenge them even further? First, they won't even be successful with what they're being asked to do, but just as importantly, how are they going to be challenged if they're already using the most advanced strategies? Instead, use the best drills, but challenge them as simply as possible. Let's take a concrete example. Let's say we're trying to improve freestyle breathing and we're using paddle cap freestyle. It's a great way to help swimmers improve their breath, especially when you're working with a large group. So if we're going to introduce the drill, I'll probably just have them start swimming with the paddle on their head and not even worry about breathing. The goal is for them to keep it on their head. Can they even do that? What I'm not going to start with is having them do paddle cap freestyle for all-out 50s where they're changing the breathing pattern every repetition, and swimming with a parachute and a stroke count. Those may be useful progressions eventually, but swimmers are most definitely not ready for them to start. They almost certainly can't even do it, and even if they could, they'd be much better off nailing the basics. So in this example, it can start with just having them swim, and then they can add one good breath. When they get that down, they can try to go two good breaths. It doesn't even matter what side they breathe to. Then, can they do the whole 25? Then can they breathe to the opposite side? Then can they breathe bilaterally? Can we add some training aids to alter the challenge? Can they add some speed to it, building slowly over the course of the lap? And then you can continue to challenge them in any way you want. So the idea is use the best strategies available and then patiently progress the challenge over time. So that's how you can use the most effective strategies while carefully progressing them over time. That approach is going to be a lot more effective than just using the most advanced options from the beginning. We can help swimmers make progress quickly while allowing them to continue to progress over time. The same concept applies to any skill development strategy. Use the most effective ones at an introductory level and then go from there. How do you actually pick the most effective drills? Check out the video here.